Hi, my name is Emily Iannelli of T-Girl Angel, and I'm doing an impromptu video. And really, all impromptu really means is that you speak without any prepared writing. So whatever I say is off the cuff, so to speak. It just is what I say based on what's in my mind, whatever comes to my mind and whatever comes out of my mouth is basically what an impromptu speech is all about. No prepared writing. Um, but I have been very emotional these past couple of weeks with all that I've been going through. I had been hospitalized recently for fainting in a courtroom, trying to get my car back from being impounded for a wrongful accusation that I was DUI when in fact I wasn't. And the prescription medications that I do take are for my bipolar disorder and my gender dysphoria. And none of those medications have any indicated warnings on the bottles themselves or by my doctors in driving and taking those medications. So I have to go through the court system to prove my innocence, and I don't have money to afford an attorney, so I have to work with what I can, and I have a legal aid attorney appointed me. I met with her. She seems nice, and she understands my story completely, and she'll be representing me, and hopefully with all the facts and all the documents that I'm bringing to the court with me and the letters from my doctor, things should be proven to the facts of the case that I indeed should not lose my car and that I should not be considered a criminal of a DUI when in fact I'm not. So I've been under a lot of stress. I haven't been sleeping well. I've been depressed. I don't get around now. I can't go out much because I'm limited to the house. I don't have a means of getting around. The only times I can get out is if I walk. I've done a little walking, but I have problems with my feet. I have blisters, and I also have feet that swell up, and I'm not sure as to why that is the case, but it's very difficult to walk when I have swollen feet. I also have missed out on my medications. I've run out of my prescriptions. I've missed several doctor appointments because I don't have a car, and I can use a bus, or I don't have the money really for a taxi. Very expensive, but it still requires walking to get to the bus stop, and the bus stop could be up to a mile walk, and with my feet and the condition they're in, it's very hard for me to walk. I'm not making excuses, but I'm very annoyed that I'm in this situation to begin with. I should have my car now. I shouldn't be in this situation. So it's angering me to a point where I am very frustrated, and I have lost a sense of trust in the system. I don't trust the way I've been treated. I've been treated like a criminal from day one when they arrested me. I thought that there was a innocence till proven guilty. It doesn't seem that way to me. They took away my car. They're treating me like a criminal. And it's totally ridiculous. And I'm not making gripes about it, but I am, in all sincere, in my heart, I know I did nothing wrong, and I have nothing to hide. And I know I'm right, and I should prevail, because I think what they did to me is an outrage. And I was treated terrible in the jail when they arrested me on July 1st, when they impounded my car, and they treated me terribly. One of the police officers who drew my blood asked me which arm I shoot up with, assuming that I did drugs, and I was offended, and I thought that was inappropriate and not behavior becoming of an officer. In another instance with another officer, I was asked repeatedly how many drinks did I have for the evening, when in fact I blew a 0.00% on the breathalyzer test. I mean, how much more proof do you need? And then another officer still insisted that I was drinking and doing drugs in addition to my prescription medications, when all the results showed that I did not drink, and I never do drink, and I don't do drugs. I only take my prescription medications as prescribed by my doctors. So I'm not in the wrong here. It's those police officers that are corrupt that are in the wrong. And I've had many positive experiences with the police officers. I've been to the hospital many times because of my fragile state of mind. And they treat me wonderfully. And they know I'm transgender. And they respect me and they treat me well. But the police officers on the July 1st incident date treated me like garbage and treated me with total disrespect and harassed me and with indignancy. And I'm very upset. And I was prompted to file a complaint, which I feel is just on my part. And I'm waiting to go through this whole legal system process because I have no other choice. And it's a real problem for me because I did nothing wrong. But I still have to go through this. And I have to prove my innocence. And I know I'm innocent. And I have to await for the blood results, which should only reflect, if anything, my prescription medication. And I said, and I state for the record, that I am not advised not to drive while taking that medication. So they can't make a judgment stating that I should not be driving taking that medication. They're not doctors. They're not experts. My doctors did not advise me to avoid driving while taking that medication. In fact, if I have to, let's say I was working, I have to take that medication in the daytime. If I was working a job, I would have no choice but to drive. So for them to hold that against me is totally unbelievable, and it has no merit. So I'm just very frustrated and angry, and I feel that I've been wronged, and I am trying the best I can to cope under the circumstances. I've wound up in the hospital several times, and on the day of that court date on July 15th, I wound up in the hospital. The judge on July 1st was very fair and equitable because they wanted to suspend my license the day that I was arrested, and they also wanted me to post bail, and the judge refused on both counts. He refused that my license be suspended, and he refused that I post bail, and he also refused that I sit in jail until the blood results. The blood results haven't even come back yet, according to what I know, so I don't know what's going on, and it's just an outrage. And I just feel like I've been totally wronged in this whole situation. And I just don't know what to do sometimes. And all I want is that I get my life back and that I get to prove that I am not doing anything wrong outside of the law. I'm taking medications that I'm supposed to take, and I'm not impaired driving by taking these medications. And on July 15th, the judge refused to allow me to get access to my car again, and I fainted as a result of his decision and his heartless treatment of my situation, knowing that I had requested a hardship. And still, that attorney that represented Nassau County, that asshole, and that asshole judge in their decision led me to faint. And those assholes, let them live with themselves, because that's what they are. They're assholes. And I don't care what I say. And I don't care if it gets censored what I say, because they are assholes. And they should get the wrath of people. And I even stated that I was treated wrongly in the court by that heartless attorney and that heartless judge in my compliment to the officers that came to my aid and assisted me and brought me to the hospital. But I let it be known for the record that that attorney, Andrew Campanelli, who I despise after what he did to me, Andrew Campanelli, and that judge, I wish I knew his name, that asshole, for what he did. I hope they get their just desserts for their harsh treatment and they just have no common decency, and I have no respect for them. I don't respect them one bit, and I think what that attorney does for a living is horrible. Taking cars, and their only method of going to jobs and making a living, taking their cars away from people and doing these unjust things. I think that it's cold and cruel, and that the county benefits, and I think it's a scam, and it's corruption, and it's wrongful, and it should be exposed for what they do to some people, especially the ones who are innocent. I just am so frustrated, and I just don't know sometimes what to believe anymore. All I know is that I don't trust the system after my experience, and I am very annoyed, and there's nothing that I can do. I just have to wait for my court date and hope that this judge is as fair as the very first judge that was initiating the proceedings on July 1st, because he was a fair judge and he was a good judge. And I'm not saying it because he worked in my favor. He understood the facts and he believed the facts. And that's what I need. I need a judge to know the facts and to understand the facts and to believe the facts are true, because they are. And that's what I'm asking for. And that's all I can hope for. But you know, things aren't always the way you expect, and I do get disillusioned, and I do get depressed, and I feel like I've been wronged, and you know, there's nothing I can do though. I have to just take one day at a time and just hold on to my faith and believe that things will get better. That's all I can do, and hope for the best. And I hope that I get my car back, and that everything goes back to normalcy, and that I'm declared innocent, as I should be, as I did nothing wrong. The only thing that I may have done, as alleged by the officer, was I didn't use my blinker, my turn signal. But his filing of me being DUI is a total false misrepresentation of the truth. And his writing in the statement is totally off base, saying that my speech was slurred, that I was blurry-eyed, watery eyes, and that I agreed. When he said I shouldn't be driving, taking this medication, he said I agreed with him. That's a bunch of malarkey. I said that I was not indicated any restrictions while taking this medication. I did not agree with what he said. He's the one who's lying, and the truth has to be found out. And that's what I need to show the court. and I hope that my attorney can help me get to prove that. Thank you, Emily.